This is always good for the long term if you've done your research, if you know what to expect, and you do not have unrealistic expectations. So, as the title says, realistic returns. Now, XRP fans, it is not going to be 10k. Ignore it. Welcome to today's video. I hope you are good. Now, if you are new to the channel and you'd like to learn more about crypto, well, hit the subscribe button, press that bell button, and press the like button. I know I sound desperate, but it helps. Let's talk about Swell conference, okay? Reason why, a little bit of past data with this, it's creating a little bit of hype already. For the first time in a long time, we're going to look at the charts, by the way, we've been above certain moving averages, so it looks really, really good. So let's break down what it is. So Swell is hosted by Ripple, okay, the company that obviously created the XRP token, brings together the world's most trusted voices across the financial services, payments, technology, and policy to share the reality of what's unfolding in global payments today and why it actually does matter. Now that's massively important because we all know that XRP is big on the payments across, you know, borderless payments and whatever you want to call it, as a descriptive term. Ultimately, we're miles off where we aim to be, but investing in assets like this is always good for the long term if you've done your research, if you know what to expect, and you do not have unrealistic expectations. So, as the title says, realistic returns. Now, XRP fans, it is not going to be 10k. Ignore it. It's impossible. I know it, well, it's not impossible, but it's very unlikely. So it's probably impossible in our lifetime anyways. So let's talk about a few things. So this is happening in Singapore on the 7th and 8th of November. And there's some incredibly gifted, very big speakers already going to be at this event who have got big influence in how banking works, unbanked, all kinds of good stuff as well in the decentralized space that allows us to send cryptocurrency to other people very, very quickly, very, very cheap, and without getting anyone interfering like a bank. You know, one of those things. So there's so much out there. And, you know, Finance in Chicago booth is pretty interesting in reality. The Singapore foreign minister, pretty cool. And you've got all kinds of other stuff as well. The former Reserve Bank of India, it's quite interesting as well. You got the, you know, the IMF fund as well. There's some absolute brilliant speakers here that are really, really financially savvy and they know where they're going. And there's all kinds of stuff as well about blockchain, always good. And, you know, how it works with Ripple, which is kind of interesting. So one thing to expect, and it could happen, it may not happen though. There may be a little few rumour mills going around over the next coming month. We're about a month away now in terms of everything going to get quite hyped up, literally about 30 days, where things will be talked about, they'll be hyped up, there'll be rumours, there'll be this, that and the other, and then there'll be the aftermath of it, where price action is key. Whether you're going long or short as a trader, there's always going to be momentum in this, which is always good. Now, let's look at past data as well in a minute. But obviously, Singapore, great place to host it in reality. And one thing I do want to say though, this is not financial advice. Do not just go and buy into XRP because of this video or any other videos out there. There's a lot of videos out there at the minute. If you look on YouTube, you can see here, XRP Swell. There's loads of stuff from last year, this year, what to expect, big jumps and stuff. And I'm going to talk about a jump as well because I've noticed something and I've mentioned it a few times. So if you check out the links below, I have obviously my own company where I teach people. Mob Monday, I talked about this. I spoke about it last week as well in the Mob Monday. I think it's a very good time to buy into XRP, and this is the reason why. Look at the daily time frame, okay? Mental. Absolutely crap of a year. Rubbish year. So if you've been holding on to XRP throughout the year, congratulations, well done. You've done all right. But one thing I will say for sure, what goes down does come back up. What goes up does come down. So don't be a fool and jump in on the tops of these waves. Literally, they are like cycle waves. They're incredible. Always buy the bottom, guys. You know, when it turns, buy the bottom. always works. I have been. Anyways, also one thing, if you like this video, thumbs up please. It helps. I'm about to drop something really big on this channel very, very soon. If people know me personally or they've known this channel for a while, you've noticed that something disappeared recently. A video that I did very, very well. Going through a little bit of a problem with that one. You'll probably find it at some point. It'll drop soon. Either way, anyways, let's look at this, right? So I want to highlight an area from last year. It's already on the screen. You've probably just seen it. If you follow your little hand and go that way to your left as you're watching this screen, you've noticed a big, massive wick. It rocketed. This here, right? So last year, this here was last year's Swell conference. So this was a run up to it. I think it was on, can't remember the date. The roundup date was on the 3rd of October, so that was a few days later. It was the end of September, start of October last year. This was when they announced XRP, which has now been changed to on-demand liquidity or something now. But ultimately, one of their main flagships where it had a utility token within XRP rocketed, which is good. Now, I've always said this, and I've always will say this, that XRP has that little thing in its closet where it'll just go bang. And I'm getting a little bit excited about this region where we are, because we've had a horrendous year. Okay, it's been awful. Now, this is the BTC charts. Don't trade in USD, it's pointless. Literally look at the BTC charts, because that's where you get a better governance of what is happening with the ecosystem. Sorry, it's just the way it is. Now, you look at this top here, and you go all the way down to the bottom. Over the course of the year, since the 23rd of December, right, we have lost 77% overall. Now, when you go from bottom to top, it's different, because the lower the Satoshis, the more you can gain. So that's where the multiples are. So just look at that, right? If I'm looking for a realistic place where we could target for hype on Swell, it's going to be in any of these Fibonacci regions. So the first point of contact would actually be this first fib area. So from here up to here, that's already a 23% gain, which is absolutely boggling. But I think we're going to go beyond that. I think we're going to go easily to this and even up to the golden ratio. That's where I'm thinking possible areas where we can target, which would be 111% gain. That's where I'm thinking if this trends. Now, why? One, if it does trend, it's a likely target from a retracement drop over the course of the year. What goes down bounces back up, and it will target certain areas of previous support, and which is now resistance. Get it? Number two, it really does depend on Bitcoin. BTC dominance needs to come down, and people need to physically buy Bitcoin to go into XRP, or use Bitcoin profits to go into XRP. That means that XRP share will be higher than BTC, meaning the dominance will come down and XRP will grow in the BTC parent or the rest of the altcoin market. It could well be a catalyst for the altcoin market over Christmas time, which could be a Santa rally again, which was awesome last year. Now, this is just realistic targets. In correlation to USD values, I have not a clue what it would turn out to be. It would depend on what Bitcoin is. But sometimes you may find that you grow a lot more Bitcoin, okay, bear with me, and you lose USD. I've had it a few times where Bitcoin's dropped massively and my altcoins have went, they've rocketed. They've like, I literally make 3 or 4 Bitcoin in holding my coins and my USD value's not moved at all. Then you just sell for Bitcoin, hold on to Bitcoin for a bit when Bitcoin moons. You know, that always will happen with halving hype coming up. So you've always got to play it in two sides of the fence. I know a lot of XRP people who are watching this video hate Bitcoin. It's like, but tough shit. It's kind of the way the ecosystem is. If someone went to you, right, if you buy into XRP now and you're expected to make at least 50% extra Bitcoin, would you take it? I would. Certainly if the XRP USD values do not move. Don't look at USD values because it is only a divided sum formula essentially of what the BTC value is. It's just a percentage of what it is. That's all it is. It's just worth in Satoshis. Satoshis matter. So What would I do if I was you? If you're new to the space, learn as much as you can. Do your research, learn about XRP, how it would work, how fast is it, how cheap is it, will it be accepted around the world, all kinds of good stuff. Learn the basics. Learn how to buy it without declaring your private keys to other places, such as crappy exchanges or keeping them on exchanges. Always hold on to your XRP because it could well be very, very valuable in the long term. The same as Bitcoin. Always will be valuable as a store of value. I don't care what people think. Either way, I hold both. I hold XRP because it is so close to the institutions, it will probably do very well. I cannot see it failing if it is that close with the institutions and partnerships that I've developed. Bitcoin, the same reason. It's totally different. It's been around for a long time. It has its standing in the ecosystem around the financial sector, even now. So that's why. So, Swell. They are my realistic targets. It will swell up to possible regions. Now, other things to mention before I finish. Again, we have been below this trend for a long time on the daily. This is a long time. So we're looking at this region here from the 6th of January pretty much, where we haven't actually closed above it for the first time in a long time, and that was it. So that was 200, I'll remove that, 249 days. We've been below the trend. We're finally above it now. We zoom in. This is what we're looking like. We're looking like we're into a trend now. The next target area before we hit to here is this. We've got a pivot point, yes. We've got this moving average 200, yes. But this is the main bit where we're looking at. So we could go a lot higher. We could go a lot higher. We've obviously been a lot lower. We've been really low. So keep accumulating if you're interested in XRP. And honestly, the cost dollar average ratio when you're seeing things low and it's undervalued is where you make money. You don't buy these dips and it's overvalued still. You buy them when they actually turn and get into a physical trend. I know people that bought up here. It's not nice. Cost dollar average, it will make a lot of sense if you buy a load low. So, see you later. Don't FOMO.